Hello, everyone. Welcome to our channel.
Hi,
My name is Uchenna,
my name is IJ.
and today we're going to talk about OWN's new show, Ladies Who List Atlanta.
I know.
Season 1, episode 2. So last week we had the first episode where they introduced us to all the lovely ladies. Some were brokers, some were real estate agents, and some were
Lawyers.
real estate lawyers.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to know a little bit more about them. And then this week, last week we learned that there was some beef between Kiana and Robin. And then this week we learned a little bit more detail and why Kiana was so hurt. So it seems like Robin and Kiana's husband were friends because Robin dated one of his good friends. And so he considered Robin a friend. And and Kiana's and Robin's relationship was more of an acquaintance that was kind of friends. So when she reached out to her for help, and Robin was like, "Oh, I'm going to charge you $13,000 for this help." Of course, Kiana was like, what's going on? Yeah, because she needed her. She was in a time of distress and she needed her to support her license. And Robin wouldn't help her without charging her. Mm-hmm. Yeah, which friends
what
don't
we
do.
never found out is, what did she eventually do? Did she go to Robin or did she go to somebody else?
Yeah.
We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
What I thought was interesting this episode was they brought the husbands and the families into this episode, which I thought was nice. I really did like that.
I did too.
I didn't think I
thought, and I thought the husbands gave good drops of wisdom and advice, sound advice to all the girls on how to deal with the different relationships. They didn't take sides. They just told, just from an objective point of view, they told them what was what, and they were right, so yeah. And I liked all their husbands. They seemed nice, partners, good partners from what we could see.
From what we could see. We never know what goes behind closed doors, women.
No, not at all. And we also learned that Kiana is a broker and Robin is also a broker.
I was surprised.
I was surprised too, but Robin has no agents under her, where Kiana says it seems like she has like maybe 1 or 2 agents. So that I don't know how exactly this whole partnership would work,
Right. What I found interesting, remember we were talking last week about two lawyers being in this whole thing. And so I can't remember her name that's a lawyer. Tiffany. Okay. Tiffany was just like, when I was going through, was having my 3rd child. And Kimberly, was her name Kimberly?
Crystal
was like, hey, let me help you out. Let me take on your clients. And, you don't have to worry about clients and so forth anymore. And I was just like, what?
I know.
And she was just like, no, I don't want to work for you. She goes, I've worked hard. I didn't go all these years and get all this education just to work for somebody else. And I agreed. So it's going to be interesting to see how this whole dynamic is going to work.
Right. Yeah. Because we can't see it, but Robin has some vision that she needs to put on paper and explain it to everyone. But and I liked meeting Tiffany's family, especially when she was driving her son. I thought that was really good. Why is he
practicing driving in that big A car?
I know.
I was just like,
I cracked up when she said she learned how to drive in a white Scooby-Doo van. That cracked me up because that was a big jalopy van when on Scooby-Doo. So it was funny to see her talk about that.
Right. And did you see her son turning the wheels of the car with
the palm, like he's on some video?
I was just like, if you don't tell that boy to grip those wheels, hand over hand, lady. Not know he was doing all this stuff. I was like, no, there's lives out here.
And Dan was doing something in the living room, so he was watching it, and he was like, yeah, man, it's so stressful, because he taught our sons how to drive, and he was like, it's so stressful, and he was cracking up because he understood what she was going through.
My husband thought he taught it. He thinks he taught our kids how to drive.
Mhm.
All he did was take them to the driver's bureau to take their test and so forth. It was me that was screaming in the car with them, like,
Right. Right.
but he's just like, yeah, I
Right.
took them kids out driving. I was like, no, you didn't.
Right. Right. Yeah, but that was good to see. And we learned like all of these women came from really humble beginnings,
Very humble beginning.
very humble, and they just pulled themselves up and made successes. They're all at different levels of success, but they're all successful. And I thought it was fantastic that they're telling their story. They're not embarrassed to tell it,
Right.
and
You
it's
shouldn't be embarrassed. It should be a
no,
badge of honor. You should
right.
be, it should be a symbol to other women. It should be, it should give other women like hope and aspirations that I can do it too.
Mhm.
And not just that, that they take care of their families too.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
what was her name? The one that was talking about how
Kiana. Mhm.
Guyana.
Kiana,
And
yeah.
yeah, and I liked how she said, I've been taking care of my family, but now it's my turn to take care of me. I've put a
Mhm.
stop to some of the stuff I've been doing, and I'm taking care of myself first.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I thought that was really like that. I was going to bring that up tonight, but you brought it up.
Mhm.
It's really good.
Yeah. So when she first said that, I rolled my eyes. I was like, here's someone else saying that I got to take care of me. But she really needed to take care of me because she was giving everything to her family. So,
Right.
yeah, so you're definitely right about that. And then we saw that Kiera, I think she's the youngest girl, and she's the newest real estate agent. She, in the beginning, showed a condo to B. Simone. Did you know who that was?
Yes, I did know who she was. She looks a lot different now than when they taped that. B. Simone now has short, I think it's blonde hair,
Oh,
like
okay.
finger waist, short blonde hair
Oh,
now.
wow.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
she's lost a lot of weight. But that
Oh,
condo, I was just like, no, thank you.
I thought it was cute.
Cute, cute. I
But
was
B.
just like,
Simone's young, so she doesn't need
yeah,
no.
I mean, it's cute, but the closet was so small.
Yeah, that was whack.
The bathroom was like a closet. I was like, oh, heck, no, you need to
No,
take some of that space and give me, no. I was like, no, not for $500,000 in
no, no.
Atlanta. No, honey.
Yeah.
You
And
gotta
plus
find better than that.
also like they're seeing these apartment with all of this great staging, beautiful furniture, beautiful arts on the walls, vases, this, that. They have to also see how that space is going to look with their stuff in it, you
And
know.
most people don't have stuff that looks like that. B.
Mm-mm.
Simone can afford that stuff.
Right.
But most of y'all other people, I don't know, but it won't look that good.
Right. Right. Unless you buy the house with as furnished.
Right. Which you can.
Right. What's your make that face?
For another $100,000,
Right, that's true.
$150,000.
Yeah, right. Very true, very true. So we learned that, which was a wildly sad story, that Kiara's dream house that she bought with her boyfriend burnt down.
Within a month of them moving in.
I know. They were both away, thank goodness. And it burnt down. We didn't find out how it burnt down. I mean, they need to fill us in on the details.
That girl, I was saying the same thing, Uchenna. I was just like, can we get some more details?
Mm-hmm.
Can we find out why you're the one walking through it? And how long ago did your house burn down and you can still walk through it?
And find a picture on the floor.
Yeah. I was just like, did this happen yesterday?
I know, right?
Because your house looks like it just recently burned down.
Right. So maybe it was recent. And I would be absolutely devastated if I lost all my pictures, all my mementos, my clothing, my shoes, my handbags, my jewelry. I would go into deep depression. And, I love to keep stuff just for memory. I have this remember my robe, IJ, that gray raggedy robe?
Yeah,
The dad and the boys bought me a new robe for Christmas, and I can't throw away that old raggedy robe. So I keep stuff just for memory's sake. And if I were to lose all that stuff in a fire, it would be devastating. So I can understand.
All my stuff were to burn down in a fire in our home. I'd be like, all right, thank God. Give me the home insurance. I can go get some new stuff. I'd be like, burn, baby, burn. I got all the pictures I want on my cell phone, burn. I can get you a ring light.
Right. Run with the ring light out the door during the fire. So it was sad also that her and her boyfriend broke up soon after the house burnt down. So you wonder, were they together,
They had to be enough to buy a house. I don't know. And you know what? Did they buy the house together? Did they buy it separately?
She said together. I don't know, but she was the one walking through. And I don't know. I don't know if I would ever buy a house with a boyfriend, because how would you split it when you guys break up? Yeah.
Boyfriend.
No.
If we can't get married, then you know what? We can't buy a house together.
Right. I'll buy it and you can say that you bought it, you helped too. You
can pay half the mortgage and I'll own it.
Right. It will be in my name. So going back to Tiffany, like when she was talking about the traumatic experience that she went through that caused her, it sounded like she had agoraphobia because she was afraid to leave the house. She couldn't do anything. She had to have her husband drive her to work, her husband be there with her at work. She had to rely on him and her family to help her take care of her kids and manage her home. So she was really lucky that she had that support system and that she was able to get out of that mental breakdown that she had, because a lot of people who have agoraphobia, it takes them years to be able to get out of it. I don't think
hers was true agoraphobia, because true agoraphobia, you can't leave the house. Like, I mean, you can't, somebody opens the door, you back away right away. But hers was, I think it was more of afraid to drive and do things on her own. She needed somebody there that was was an anchor for her, so that she would feel like supported and safe. Yeah. So hers wasn't true agoraphobia, because when people with true agoraphobia, you open the door and they become so anxious. Some of them pass out. That fear of stepping outside.
Right.
So yeah, but yeah, the main thing though is that she had that support system.
Yeah.
The main thing. To have a supportive spouse that's supportive just makes a difference.
Yeah, it really does. It does, for sure. And it's interesting, going back to Robin, how all these females are apprehensive about going to Robin's dinner. They're all talking about.
But they don't really know her.
No. And Tiffany has the questions like, why does she want me there when she has Crystal? I would be asking the same thing. Why do you need two lawyers? How are we going to split the money? How are we going to split the work? But if they decide to split it evenly, then if they think that they're going to have so much business that they need two lawyers, then I think that'd be a great thing, because they can also keep the clients that they already have, in addition to these new clients that they'll hopefully get with this collaboration. So now we get into the nitty gritty of the dinner. But it was so funny.
Halfway through the show, I thought that the dinner had already happened and I missed. I was like, they keep talking about the dinner like they've been there already. Did we miss the dinner? But find out, they just kept talking about it.
Yeah. And so it's interesting, like just tonight before the show came on, my husband, Dan, was talking to my sons, and he was telling them, he was like, boys, I want to give you this word of advice, that when you work with people, you want to make sure to watch how you treat them, because you'll never know if you'll need them in the future, or if you're going to end up working for them in the future. So you don't want to have any bad relationships, so you want to treat everyone as well as you can and not ruffle any feathers. And I think Robin and Crystal could have learned something from that advice, because it seemed like they were doing the most with the other girls and not really watching how they're treating other people. And now they're asking these same people to join them, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That was good advice that Dan gave Desmond and Mason. Yeah.
Yeah. And so we finally get to the dinner. You know, all the girls look fantastic. You know, Robin shows up late because she's a host, so she wanted to make an entrance. You know, and yeah, she should. And so they sit down and they do a cheers. And Robin was nice. She called out Crystal and thanked her for getting the girls together. I thought that was really nice of her. And they did a cheers, and it seemed like, you know, everything was going pretty well. And then Kiana brought up her issue that she had with Robin.
And that was the place to bring it up.
No, it wasn't the place to bring it up.
No, in real life, ladies, we don't do that.
Yeah.
But we're on TV land, so reality TV show world. So we're going to do it where we can get the most out of it.
Right. Yeah. To make it more interesting. So she brought it up pretty well. You know, she wasn't like super like angry when she brought it up. And I thought Robin handled it also pretty well. She didn't apologize well.
Yeah.
So what?
I was surprised.
Yeah, she didn't apologize exactly correctly, but she did give an apology right away. And it's hard for women, especially, you know, strong women, strong people in general, to apologize, but she did it. And she even, you know, told a lot about herself, how she was going through a bad stage in her life mentally.
Yeah, right. And that takes a lot of guts to tell somebody, to tell people, I was going through a mental crisis and I was not myself. And it's just becoming more and more prevalent to people that it is getting easier and easier and more acceptable to say, I had mental issues.
Right. There's not that horrible stigma on it anymore, because, you know, everyone goes through everything, something, you know, so it's okay. And at first, Kiana was not trying to hear it. She felt like she was making excuses. And so Robin had to go even more into it and explain to her how hard it was for her to do anything. She said it was hard for her to get up. It was hard for her to shower. You know, she wasn't in a right place to do business correctly. And she wasn't thinking about anybody else because there's so much turmoil in her head. And then Tiffany, I thought, was great because she didn't even know.
Tiffany saved the day.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And herself said, I had issues myself. And it is hard when you're going through something, battling through something, to really put yourself out there and be there for people, which, yeah, it could be. And so I thought it was great that she actually spoke up. It wasn't that she was defending Robin. It was more that she was talking about, this is what this lady was going through.
And let's give her some grace.
Yes.
And then she was like, what? This is a conversation you guys should have on your own. And they both agreed.
Amen. Right. That was the first time on reality TV show somebody showed some common sense, right?
Right, definitely. And I forgot to mention, Robin explained why she wanted to bring them together. And the only person who could see through all of the pettiness and silly and anger and issues, I can't remember her name, is Tiffany's best friend. She's a realtor. She had the short bob and the purple outfit. Yeah, and she was like, yes, this is a great idea. In her interview, she's like, I work with so many different people. And if all of these great, strong women could come together, we can do something great, you know? And she was like, you know, Robin, that sounds good. You need to put it on paper and give it to us so we can see exactly what your vision is. She was the only one that was above all the pettiness, you know? And so Robin and Kiana, they put a pause on their issue. And, but during that, Crystal was kind of chirping a little bit. And while, instead of staying neutral, when Kiana was talking, Crystal was like, like co-signing silently with what she was saying, instead of like being Robin's best friend and backing her up.
Crystal, something's going on with her. I wish we could find out what it is. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like it's jealousy.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Right. And so then Kiara brought up this super duper petty ass bullshit complaint about how Robin and Crystal unfollowed her on Instagram.
Oh my God. I was just like, really? You need
She really showed her age.
2 followers is gonna make.
Yeah. I thought that Robin tried to handle it as well as she could. And then Crystal got even pettier and called Robin old, and Robin kind of like poo-pooed it off. And then Crystal just was getting more and more irate. She was madder than Kiana was. And Kiana had a real issue with Robin, and then Crystal, once again, wasn't supporting Robin, when
that's why Robin is bringing this other girl in, because she needs to cut Crystal.
Yeah. And then it got even worse. And she was telling Robin, you're triggered. And even though Robin said what?
Crystal, you're triggered.
Yeah. And even when Robin was telling her, stop saying triggered, Crystal kept on repeating it, trying to trigger her and get her even angrier.
And so this makes sense, Uchenna, why that word triggers Robin. She was going through mental issues and had triggers, and Crystal, right. She needs to get rid of Crystal.
I think so too. She's not a friend. Yeah, I started to really not care for her at all, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And her outfit was whack.
No. I don't care for her at all. And yeah. Yeah, as we're talking about her now, I almost want to go on her Instagram page and say, you're not a friend, but I'm going to hold myself from doing that because, but I do.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I just don't understand where she's coming from. Or is she doing this to get,
airtime?
Airtime, right, exactly.
So her Instagram followers will go up. Yeah, I'm not going to follow you, girl.
Right. So I don't know, it's just going to be interesting to see how the relationship evolves, how the relationship with all the women evolve, and if they can, start this firm together.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with you. So here I thought it was going to be a done deal, this firm. But we don't know if it's going to be a done deal or not. We don't know what's going on with that firm.
Right.
Interesting.
Yes. So what are you thinking about this show so far?
Okay, so last week I was not into it. I found it very hard to get into it. But, I realized that it's a new show. And they did need to play that just so that we can get to know who the players were.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
And then this week it was more interesting getting to know the families and seeing their interactions. I do have to say, I do love watching the show for their women's hairstyles, for their makeup and their look and their outfits. I do like
the homes.
Well, I'm not so in love with the homes because.
Well, the first episode, they show some really good homes.
Yeah, but it's nothing compared. Tampa's homes are better, and LA Sunset's homes are way better than these.
Right, but this is also Atlanta. It's not like it's California or Florida.
But where are the $1 million homes?
There's beautiful homes in Atlanta.
I want to see those. Don't you guys have none of those on your brokerage? I mean, on
the listings.
I want to see that coming through the TV.
Right.
Yeah.
But I like the show. I think the women are interesting.
And not everything has to be, New York real estate or anything like that. You're right. Everything has to be that grandiose. Like I can afford a $5 million home. But no, the show is. I think the show will end up being good.
Yeah, I like it so far, and I like the character development that's happening because we're learning more about the characters. It's not just all about arguing and going crazy, So, and I'm also learning more about real estate, So,
right.
Yeah. So I'm learning more about being a broker opposed to being an agent, and all the legalese behind it. So I like it. And it's great to see all these beautiful, grown and sexy Black women, you know.
Isn't it so? It certainly
Yes.
is. It is.
Mhm.
It makes me want to just go get my hair done.
Right.
I mean, they should all have great hair in Atlanta. My God.
Yes, all those hairstylists. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So we are going to review again next week. We hope that you guys check us out. So please make sure that you like this episode, subscribe to our channel, turn on your notifications, and comment below. We love hearing what you guys have to say.
Sure do, ladies. Sure do.
And men. There's men who, who watch. All right, guys.
All right.
Have a good
Bye,
weekend.
everyone.
Bye.